Elves, yes. I heard from the old people that had been out and seen them how elves would be. They were small, very small. An old man that lived down on Partera here, he had been a sailor. He happened to see them in the morning before the sunrise. That was supposed to have happened up at Garn in Tunga Parish. It was shallow waters there with reed, and there was elves on the shore and they danced down there. He had said they resembled a 2-year-old child in size. One could hear some kind of sound like bird song, but if it was song or music, I don't know if he actually could decide. As soon as the sun started to shine just a bit in the east, they all went down in the lake. This was told to me by his son, a tailor. Once my grandmother was going to Börte at Malmön, and the innkeeper's maid was going to Kalven, that is a part of Malmön, to look for bird eggs. At that time it was so very many birds around here. It was just when it started to go dark outside. Then my grandmother ended up in one of those elven dances. She danced and had of course done that until she would have fallen down dead, because that's how they usually do when they get into those dances. The maid understood this too, so she grabbed my grandma and yanked her out of there. Then grandma told that she had seen a fiddler that stood and played so very beautiful. And next to him there's been a big black dog, and around him dances many beautiful white-dressed girls. When they went home, she was a bit odd, and after they got home she got sick for a very long time. There was a shoemaker that lived alone in a hut. He had put wood on the fire in the stove one night, and then he got to see a group of elves sitting around warming themselves on the fire. They wasn't much bigger than small dolls. "Watch out, children," he said, "so you don't burn yourselves." They then went up and sang. "Shoemaker Sud said to me, watch out, child, don't burn thee," said Shoemaker Sud to me. There once was a boy that was going to a dance in a barn. It was somewhere around midnight. When he walked across a field, he got to hear such beautiful music. He stopped and listened, and just as it was, a whole bunch of beautiful girls came, holding each other's hands and dancing ring dances. In the middle of the ring stood a girl that was bigger than the others. She was so beautiful, the boy had never seen such beauty before. She called for him and asked him to come into the ring and dance with her. He did it. But after that day he was strange and shy and didn't like people anymore. And before he had been a cheerful and happy lad. But he didn't have steel in his pockets, and before the end of the year he died. There used to be a Finn living at the coastal here. Once the old man came to the meadow of Herrön, and there lived a man named Rutger. Rutger suffered from a strange disease. During the day he was ill and could not leave the bed, but at night he recovered and could get up and eat and so on. The old Finn was asked what the disease was and if there was no cure for it. "I can tell you that," he replied. "He has entered an elven dance and cannot get out of it again."